So last time, 2 weeks ago, we ended up with a very difficult hieroglyphic line, which was maybe the worst one we've had so far, with all of these question marks. But the general meaning is that the king is doing something to people in jail and to people who are error or sin against them, so who have sinned, who have something for a long time. He sort of abolished them. Maybe people against whom there is error or something, with respect to whom there is error, something. I don't know how to say that, but that's the sort of general meaning of it. And then, and by the way, the hieroglyphic part for today is actually kind of okay for once. So that's something to look forward to. But first, we have this Greek line, if there is someone who would like to read and translate and all that.
Can give it a shot.
Yep. Thank you.
Let's first break it up. It's a longer one. Kai tus.
Kai tus.
So, and those, some kind of accusative. En tais pulakais. That's in plus a dative. So, and those in the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Now comes something more difficult, some kind of participle. Apeg menus. And I looked it up. Apago is to lead away. Let's see if that fits. But so far I would say, and those accusative which are being led or have been led into the prisons. I'm assuming. I'm not sure what time apeg menus, what tense that is. It has a long air, which makes me think it's something past like. But yeah, if you could fill that in, what that is morphologically would be great.
It's a perfect participle.
Perfect. Okay.
And the very useful, the trick for perfect participles is that there is no thematic vowel between the stem and the ending. So there is no O or E. So it's not omenos, for example. It's just apeg. Consonant goes to consonant. That's the sort of one.
Good to know. So basically, then it's the ones which have been led into the prisons. Okay. Kai tus and those. NITIs. Ontas. So ontas would be being, the ones who are being, NITIs. ITIA is charge, and ITIs, I should have said, is charge. So I guess these are the ones who are being charged or who have been charged. ITIs, ontas, ek, polu, kronu. Literally from a long time or for a very long time. And then comes another verb. Apeleus. Wait, where does the accent go? Apeluse. Apeluse.
Yes.
Apeluse. And that comes from luo, or apoluo, to release, I guess. In this case, makes sense. Apeluse. Ton, genitive plural. Ton. Enkeklemenon. Enkeklemenon. Okay. This one again, another one. This comes from kaleo, to call in. And I don't know what to make out of this. Enkaleo is to charge. The dictionary tells me. So is that, is apeluse, is that constructed with with the genitive. So he released
Yeah.
them from from the charges.
Hmm. That's what it is. And so I said earlier that the perfect doesn't have a thematic vowel, but here it does. This is also a perfect, by the way. But here it has a vowel, but that's because it's the verb, I guess, was kaleo with the it's this vowel that becomes lengthened in a way. So there's still no thematic vowel in a way, or otherwise it would have been something more coming in here. But this, yeah. So that's so it's that's exactly. I think you had it right. Really, you
Okay.
release them from the accusations, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Of the accusations. I've seen when I looked up that word, enkaleo, I saw it spelled with a gamma instead of an N.
Hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's usually the classic spelling would assimilate the n to the following kappa. So
That would be
yeah,
okay. Gotcha. Understood.
that's it. So and maybe we've seen it once before. So they have this tendency in this Rosetta Stone not to do that. So they really write the preverb as it is, and without sort of making any phonetic adaptations.
Got it. So
Yeah, it reminds me of this in Sanskrit or something. They have these Sandhi rules or something that you have some phonetic context. You have to change stuff, and usually in standard classical Greek that would always be the case. This should be a gamma.
Got it. I mean, you see that in Latin authors too, that some of them are extra conservative and leave out assimilation. That's fairly common. So maybe it's something like this. Then just to summarize, so the whole sentence, and those who had been brought into prison, and those who had been accused for a very long time, he released, in parentheses, them from the charges, basically.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. I don't think there's much else to say. So now we have a new sort of beneficial line. Let's see who wants to read this one.
I can give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just going to start out by saying I don't know what that first one is.
Yeah, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Yeah, this one I don't think we've had it before. It's hen. Those two first signs, it's really something like this, and then this. Oh, why is it doing that? It's some kind of sign like this, and it's just hen. Which I don't know. Is it hon in Coptic? What does hon mean?
Hon, like I think it can mean more than one thing. It can mean to approach or to be near. Then there's another one that means like to give a command.
Yeah, that's the one. The other one.
So these first two, those are both the hon, the hen.
Yeah, both of those together somehow. Maybe we can have a quick look because I'm a bit curious how that happens.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Really? Okay,
I look
let's
at
see.
it's like, what on earth?
Where are we at?
Yep,
here
almost
somewhere.
There. Back a little.
There. Okay. So hen, and so this is okay. Yeah, well, it's the hen which is part of the verb in Middle Egyptian, right?
Yep. But how does it become this?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to ask Christian at some point what he thinks of these things, because they sound so. Sometimes I doubt them very much, but yeah.
So we'll make a list. I'll take a screenshot of this. I'm quite serious. Let's make a list of those and like, hey, dude.
What's going on there?
You talk to them directly. What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
All right. So anyway, so this is what we have, right? It's just hen, those two signs.
Does it include that third one as well as the determinative, or is that its own word?
That's its own morpheme, its own element.
Oh, it's not the one that means remech, is it?
No, it's a pronoun.
S, like a feminine S.
F.
Oh, F. Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, you see it now. Okay, great. And then this one, what could it be?
I always forget. Probably one of the definite articles.
Yeah, I also thought that. The thing that happens with hen, it's one of these verbs I checked in Johnson's grammar that in demotic has a redundant object. It uses, so this is actually an S in this case. Yeah, so it's he ordered it, and then whatever it is, and there are a few verbs that have these. I don't know if we see this in Coptic, these sort of empty objects that just
Yes.
like in Jaws, right? Maybe or
Yep. Jaws is one, and there are a few more where you just have that random object that's hanging around, either feminine singular or I think a plural "u" also occurs.
Okay. Yeah, so that's just what it is, and that's a regular feature with hen anyway.
Okay. This next one may be neti, like a relative.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but it's not. Sorry.
Maybe M.
It's not M. I think maybe we'd had it once before, but it's really not obvious because there's some kind of complex ligature going on here. Erjeba, which becomes etve. And so it has the. This is what we supposedly have then. So it's R, which sort of mixes with whatever glyph that is, but it's the Jeba glyph. And then you have this abstract determinative at the ending. But sort of these two first signs, I think they look separate, but I think there's some kind of mix between the R and the Jeba triliteral.
I see.
I think so, because you see, and it has other writings that are much more complex. Yeah, so, but that's really this part is Erjebad, and so we just have to try and remember that some way. Erjebad.
Yeah. And then this next one, maybe a definite article, probably not.
Yeah, no, you're right this time.
Plural definite article? Na?
Yeah, no.
Maybe an U is next?
It could be nu. I don't think we've had this before. This is Hotep. I'll just say that. It's the whatever this thing is with this one and then a T underneath. That's sort of what's happening here. And then this, what could it be if not U?
If it's not U, maybe one of the second H's.
It looks very much like the hieroglyph when it looks like this. If you skip the little tail down there, just this.
Like a Netcher flag.
That's it. It's Netcher. It's Netcher. And in this case, there's a honorific transposition even in the demotic. So it's really Hotep Netcher, which is.
Is it a phrase meaning like the offerings to the god, like the Middle Egyptian?
I think so. I think that's.
I see.
Yeah, and then at the end you have this vertical stroke.
So that would be a plural then, W.
Yeah, exactly, right? So then you get the na, and then wherever you want to put that W, maybe it should be after Hotep and not after Necher, like this. Okay.
So all these signs in sequence. So Na, then Necher, then Hetep, and then what is the one between Hetep and W? Yeah,
That's
that
the
one.
G7, the divine determinative, the Horus Falcon thingy.
The bird on the stick.
Yeah, that's it.
I see. Next one is maybe R.
Yeah, it could be R. That's I think, or maybe R usually has some kind of angle to it, but either R or N. Let's see.
Next one is maybe another plural definite article. Na.
No.
And this one I feel like is Necheru maybe.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Necheru. I think this sign here shouldn't. Maybe it belongs to the next line, and I sort of cut it wrong. That's possible.
Iram. Iram or the there's another one that looks like it. I can't remember what it is though. Or the third.
What was it?
The third part is like curves a different way.
Which one was that? I can't remember. You're right. There was one that we shouldn't sort of mix them. What was that? Iram. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but I remember exactly. No. I'll look it up after later, I think. But you're right, yeah, there was one that we shouldn't sort of confuse with this one. Okay.
Then another Na.
Na.
And the next part is maybe a T and an N or two T's or something. I don't know.
So we've had it a few times before, and it's like this, and then there's usually this dot underneath it. And it's also used as a determinative for Nebu and anything that's sort of precious metal like. So in this case, when it's just like this, it's hedge. Yeah, it's like this one. Again, another one with how do you go from those glyphs to this demotic sign? Okay, so we have Na hedge, or it couldn't. If someone can remind me, I don't. Could this be Pa as well? Is hedge a because that's a masculine, right?
That is true. Yeah, that is true. But it looks like a Na, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm just trying to. Yeah, Pa doesn't come like that. Pa usually has this sort of loopy thing. Yeah, that's why I'm exactly. So it has to be Ta or Na, and in this case, it has to be Na.
So hedge can actually be plural then. That's an interesting observation. Now I wonder if it does the same in earlier Egyptian. Something to dig up. Because it can mean money earlier already, like in late Egyptian. Silver money as a medium of exchange. I'm just looking at the TLA. Now the interesting question would be, does it ever show up with the plural article? In other words, Na. I can check into that as you guys go along. It's an interesting question.
I see what looks like a pair sign, but the one before it, is it another Na?
Yeah. So we have another article. And then you're right. It's this is the per sign. So this is pronounced per. And but it comes with something else. I think we've had it at least once before.
Let's see. It's not like erpe, like temple. I don't think, because then the per would come second. I think. It's probably not per a, like king. Per something, and then maybe a w suffix.
Yeah, right. Like, so there's a w suffix. You're quite right, but it's peret.
Like peret, like to emerge, to come out.
Not in this case. I think it's more related to maybe the season of summer or something. If that's pera.
Pro is winter, I think.
Okay. So then I'm not right at all, because this means grain. That's what it means. And I was wondering if there was a season that it was related to, but so it's winter season. Okay, so those two have nothing to do with each other then. But this is the one we
do. They do. It's the season of emergence, but it's also winter. But it's emergence because that's when the grain starts to sprout. Is that right?
Okay, so all these, the verb per and the grain peret and the season peret are all related.
I believe so.
Would be logical if you think that. I mean, if you explain grain as the thing that's coming out, of course, that could also be later association, right? Who knows what happened? But it could just be related to peri, the verb to come out.
But then what's coming out if it's not the plants growing out of the ground?
Now I was thinking, like, I mean, you have the verb, right? Like peri or piri or however it was pronounced, to come out in general. And the season is definitely named after that. Is the grain also named after the verb? I think it would make some sense, but not necessarily.
I think I always just assumed when they were talking about the season of emergence, it was the emergence of grain.
Right.
I don't know that that's based on anything. That might have just been my own assumption.
My favorite example is always the ear of grain and the ear on your head. When you take an English only perspective, you think, oh, those two are clearly. I mean, like the ear of grain looks a little bit like an ear. You could make that up. You can make it make sense. But Germanic, Proto-Germanically speaking, they're completely different verbs and words, and they just merged into one in English. One is Ohr in German, one is Ehre, and they sound different, but we merged them just because, I don't know.
So is it the season of taking the grain out of this greenhouse?
I thought more like coming out of the ground, no? The season.
Because ultimately the coming out has to refer to something, whether it's the grain or the...
Well, but all of the seasons seem to have something to do with agriculture. There's the inundation, the emergence, and the harvest. So I don't know what else would be emerging.
Oh no, the season is definitely the grain. I'm just wondering, is the grain? I'm assuming the verb to come out is the simplex. It's like the original root, the peri. Is the grain named after the verb, or is that coincidence? That's the part I don't know.
And I know there's at least two different words for like grain or seed in Coptic, and I don't know what the difference is in terms of etymology, because a seed is a seed, it just sprouts somehow.
Learning all sorts of things today. Seed.
It's really vry.
Sorry, Uzo?
Well, Baharic has vry.
Vry. Okay. Interesting.
Theta, rho, alpha, epsilon. And that comes from indirectly the Rosetta in Jerusalem. I don't know how it happens, because it's the month of emergence, right, from November till March. So I have no idea how that and grain got connected, but just did.
That
would fit very well with taking grain out of the greenhouse to feed the people.
But I thought, wait, what's the season sequence again? Isn't it first you have inundation, then you have peret, and then you have harvest. So from that sequence, I would think it's when stuff comes out of the ground, more than out of a building, wouldn't it?
I really don't know.
We're not going to solve this today. Shame.
Yeah, I should have.
Shame.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah. So anyway, we have na, and then peret, which is and then I guess it's a plural. I'm not gonna write it as a plural. I'll just have these as sort of common nouns for something in large quantities. What is it called? Common? No. Isn't there a term for this? For nouns that sort of even whatever can be almost
Collective?
singular, but they collective. That's what I'm.
Collective nouns.
They have this sort of collective quality to them.
Right. And I just put it in the chat. So hatch can indeed be constructed with the plural article. Just found an example in late Egyptian. I'm not sure if did it come up?
Yeah, I'm opening it now. It's just taking some time to load, I think.
Okay, sorry about that.
There we go.
There it is. So this is Ramses the 9th, I mean, from his time. And you see Ir Nahach as for the money, so to say, Gemik, which you have found, and then blah 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 blah. So this is plural.
Nahaj, awesome. Okay, and this ligature is something R&T, some kind of RT. A ligature that I've only seen so far with Peret, but yeah.
Okay.
What did I do now? Yeah. So, what's next?
Again, I could guess maybe the NT thing, like relative, but if it's not that, then maybe let's see, either NT or M.
This is NT. You're right this time. And it's so it's a relative. We haven't seen this relative pronoun before. What do you think those two next signs are?
Like either a Y or an E.
Yeah, right. Or in this case, the circumstantial EU.
Huh.
So this is NT, and that's a relative converter in demotic, at least, for which we haven't seen. So we've seen NT alone, we've seen this R, and we've seen IR, which was the past participle, and this time we have NT EU at least when it's a present tense thing, and when the antecedent is different from the subject of the relative clause we're going into now. It's another one of these things we have to sort of just know. And it's page 66 in Johnston, for those who want to know. And it's just one of those relative converters, and it always comes with the subject tacked onto it at the end, the suffix pronoun.
Okay, so NT, and then the next, so the three vertical strokes after NT, all three of those are EU?
No, these two are EU, and then you have the suffix pronoun that comes as last.
And that one is EU? Or sorry, that one is W?
Yeah, that one is W. So that just gives us the subject of the relative clause, which is it's at least it's a third person plural kind of subject.
And the next one, we've probably seen this before. I just don't know. It's either a definite article or I don't know. It's
a verb. It's dit. It's the infinitive of ready. So I usually write it dit, and it's typical. And this relative converter takes an adverbial. That's what Johnson says. She calls it an adverbial, and she said that infinitives can be adverbials at the beginning of the book. So that's just the form that should come after this relative converter. Should be an infinitive.
And then there's the next one. Is that another na, plural definite article?
No, not this time. These two go together. So what else can this be?
So with this whole thing, this NTEU, the you said the antecedent's the same, or this is when the subject is the same. Like, with this NTEU, would this have like a resumptive pronoun of some kind?
Yeah, this NTEU would have a resumptive pronoun of some kind, because what it's referring to in the main clause is not the subject. The subject is U. So we have to pick up again what we are dealing with. It's like an object, right? So that's what we have. This is a resumptive pronoun in this case.
So I'm thinking like one of the either indirect object, like in Coptic something that starts with na, or a direct object, which it would just be one of the, like emof, emos, something like that.
Yeah, this is a direct object, so there's a dependent pronoun. We saw this one, the same type at the beginning. We saw it here.
So
it can be an S. Set, exactly. It's set. So I don't know if I explained well. I will try because I at some point at the beginning of our readings I made this document for the relative stuff, and I will try and update it with this one because I'm trying to understand sort of how they work. So I'm not sure that I explained it well, but yeah. So we have a new subject, and then we resume the object, which is in a way what we're referring to, which is the antecedent of the main clause. Yeah.
And now this set, would this be corresponding to like plural, or would it be corresponding to like true, like feminine? Because I know like set can refer to plural too, and then the T drops off later on.
Yeah. In this case, it's the plural. It's a third person plural dependent pronoun. Unless someone correct me, I feel like I'm a bit on shaky ground, but that's how I read this.
So if I had to guess, like probably not to spend too much time on the grammar portion because I still want to finish the sentence first, but something like this, like where you see like net two, because when you see the U part, that would tell you that like there's going to be a resumptive pronoun. So like the things which, or those which they give, which they give them. And like, I know it's not U, it's a set, but it's implying that it's U, like plural. So that's why I just put the U in parentheses. So like the things which they give.
I think this is exactly it. The things which they give them, or we can interpret it as a passive construction, right? That's the other possibility.
Like the things which are given.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe the next one is an R, because giving things which are given to something else, presumably, or could even be an N.
I'm just gonna make a brief. Let's see how this is the R preposition. It usually has this diagonal part. I'm just trying to. There might be exceptions, and I'm sure that a fast scribe will make. Like these are the Rosetta Stone examples. They usually have some tilt, at least. And then the N, it would be this one. If we also open the Rosetta Stone, so there is this horizontal / oblique distinction. I don't know if this one, I don't know if it is more horizontal maybe than oblique in this case. I'll write an N. This is all phonetic.
Like what I've seen before. It's all phonetic.
These are all uniliterals. Yeah.
It's Greek to me.
Yeah, it's Greek too. It's Greek to Aurelio, and it's Greek to all of us. Yeah.
F, or the Z one, the door bolt. S,
yeah, right.
S N T.
T.
And then maybe another T, whatever that is.
They go together. All of this is one. one sign. I don't know. I don't remember how. Yeah, something. Johnson has something like this. I don't remember exactly, but it's a G.
Get T.
This is an S.
Oh,
those three together.
The S. The next one a Y.
Yep. And then you have the abstract determinative here. So that's the end of the word.
I guess I'll try to figure that one out when I translate it.
Okay.
Then the very last part, either it's the name of a god or something.
It looks weird.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't know that. No, I don't think we've had it either. It's a possessive article, I think. If we have nai as a possessive article, no, that's not it. Yeah, it's the possessive article with the third person plural. Yeah, so there. It's supposedly. Does that look at all like that?
When you say possessive, and so this is the end of this demotic.
No, sorry, because we have just a few more here.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah, that I should have put this in the next line, but that's my bad.
So this part is nau.
Yeah, right. So it's, but I just know this because of the transcription of the DPTP, but I can't say that it looks exactly. Yeah, maybe if we assume that these should be connected, if we make sort of connection here, then yeah, it somewhat looks like this one. And yeah, so that's what it is. Na I u. What is that in Coptic? It's now? No.
Just now.
Neo, right? Should be neo.
Just neo. Yeah,
Neo.
right.
Yep.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then there.
So this irpu, this is this isn't the one that is this the one that means temples?
Yeah. So this is the beginning of the new line, so it's still a bit broken. So that's the reconstructed, their temples.
So their temples. And then that second one looks like the chen, like the hun, like the interior one, but I don't know what the rest of these are.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we've had this. This is a renpet. So this sign has the renpets. I don't know what it is. This I've never. Is it no? Why did it do that? I'll just look it up. Renpet for year. So like this, for example. So it has the little renpet thingy, and then a Z1 vertical stroke, the sun, and the plural. For that case, this one, what we have, and we have a T at the end. So the vertical stroke is this one, and is that right? Yeah, and the little dot is just like space filling dot that we have here, and T. So that's how they interpret it anyway. And then at the beginning here, I don't remember if we've had it. That is sher under. So this is sort of the idealized form would be this. So we have, and that's a sort of an expression, they go together, right? Sher, renepet. Okay, do you want to see what you got?
Sure. So this first Genefis, should this be like is this a SEGMF? Because if it's not, then if the F is not a subject, then how would I interpret this? Like a circumstantial?
No, you're right. This is a SEGMF, and in Demotic, it's then usually a past tense. It's the past tense.
So, like, he commanded it, or he commanded for the offerings for the gods and the silver or the money and the grain, which was given syntaxi. I'm just trying to see what that word could be. And
it's a Greek word.
Oh, it's a Greek word.
Yeah. So syntaxi. It's syntaxis. And it means, we can check it. I haven't checked it. It means some kind of income or something. Syntaxis. It means a lot of things. Tribute, levy, subvention. Maybe pension or some kind of pay.
I've seen it as subvention, but I've also seen it as gathering, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, can absolutely mean gathering as well. Putting together, arranging of soldiers. So we'll see, but something like that.
Subvention is good, I guess, in this context.
Interesting that they spell it with a G because of presumably the voiceless K and the S, coming in contact. Syntaxis.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So, grain, which were given to the for whatever that word is, levy or tribute, to maybe some kind of preposition is implied to their
absolutely.
Temples, and then some other kind of preposition, whatever the chur is doing here. So like for years, for many years, something like that.
I think yearly, every year.
Oh, yearly. Yeah.
Under the year, yearly. Yeah, I think you got it. So what did you see for this? He ordered maybe concerning or.
Yeah, I just said for because I know Edvek could be like, I know it's like literally comes from like, like to exchange something for something, but like, or to do something for something. So like he ordered for, or he ordered in exchange for, something like that.
Okay, so we have from Aurelio, we have so we have Heret Renpet.
Yearly tributes or yearly payments, and this is from Tutmosis the Third, so much earlier. I found a few examples. I had never seen it before, but it's a thing.
Great.
Oh, it was good to know that it didn't make it up in Demotic.
No, and I saw that they related to the Coptic Tenrompe, but that can't be right in a way. Tenrompe, because that Sher cannot be the ten.
It couldn't be, you're right. Tenrompe. But each year the meaning is the same.
The meaning is the same, absolutely.
Tenrompe. Oh, look at that Tenrompe. So that looks like it could be mislinked.
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Because
much
it would be just Heret Renpet for the... yeah. Anyway. But at least we have this in Coptic, means the same thing. Tenrompe. Okay. So he ordered concerning the offerings for the gods and the silver and the grain, which I would say is given, because I think this should be, I will check it better afterward, but I think this NTEUU is typically used for the present tense, which is given as a tribute, as a pay, as a subvention of the temples yearly. Okay. Next.
I think I can probably plow through this pretty fast.
Okay.
Looks like Egyptian for once. Wedge Hemeth.
Let me see. Wedge.
Amjed. Ir Chetep Netcher. Or Hetpu Netcher.
Yeah. Okay.
And Netcheru.
Right. So N.
I'm not sure if this second H is meant to be a Hana or if it's folded into the word hedge here. It must be Hana.
That's a good. I never thought of the fact that it could be part of hedge, but yeah, I also have it as.
Like we need a copula, yeah.
Yeah, Hana.
Hana hedge. I know it's grain. I'm not sure what word they're using here. Is this sek or wa, or it's a really weird way to write parrot? I don't know.
This is this is wa, the thing with the you remember the glyph, right? I can't do it, but yeah. It begins wa.
That's a word for grain?
Yeah, wahit. Wahit.
Oh.
Like this.
Oh.
That's a word for grain.
Okay. Erdit?
Yeah. Erdi or Erdit, I don't know. Okay.
Kaupnetcher?
Yeah. So how's that written? Who? Maybe we double it like this. Netcher.
Is this that Genti thing again?
Oh.
I can't tell. It looks like an acorn, but I feel like it might be a cow's head.
Or is it just Dep?
Oh, okay.
Is that a thing? I don't know. Dep. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I don't
know.
No idea.
I mean, Teprompe would be the beginning of the year, I thought.
Oh, I have it here. Yeah, I checked it, but it gives, as you say, the beginning of the year, exactly. If we check, I can check also Seta's drawing, if that's better. He draws it like this.
Yeah, it's a Dep.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely Dep.
So,
how does that correspond with what we have in the Demotic, though? Doesn't really.
I don't know if it does.
Doesn't, yeah.
It's not yearly then, unless it's implied that it's yearly at the beginning of the year. I don't know. Okay, so His Majesty decreed, saying, as for the offerings to the gods and silver, silver, grain, no and here, naked verb here is which is given, maybe?
Yeah, I think
Makes
so.
sense. to the temples at the beginning of the year.
Hmm. So help me out here. So this, do you take it as a relative form then? How do we?
That's what makes sense, but I mean,
Hmm.
it's not dressed in any way to tell me what it's doing.
Hmm.
Grain.
Yeah.
And the temple I mean, temple's not a subject. The grain's not a subject. I don't see any kind of subject.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's a bit annoying when the verbal forms are so, I don't even know how to say, they don't give any information at all, and then the T is almost always there, even if it's not part of the verb. It's just a standard. They just write the verb give, and they just have one way to write it, and it can be any verbal form. This is how I read it so far.
And it's weird that there's no N there. You added one in parentheses, but it's weird that it's not there. I mean, it's all very sparsely written grammatically, it feels to me.
Yeah, it's much better than what we had 2 weeks ago, but it's still, so maybe it's also the stone is still that there's some difficulties here. Okay, thanks. Maybe we have time to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
Who can I here wants to?
Anybody want some Greek?
I might give it a try.
Okay.
So pros etaxe.
Yep. Pros is one verb. Prosetaxe.
And there kai das prosodus ton hieron kai das what does that say? Di dominas.
Yeah, right. T.
He's out there. Kata any or kateni. What does that say? Kateni luton?
Auton.
Auton. Oh, okay. Kateni auton. Oh, and then this is the word we had in hieroglyphs, syntaxis.
Eisafta kateniaton syntaxis.
Itika.
That's a sigma.
Oh. Sitikaste.
Yeah, sitikaste.
Kai agririkas.
Yeah, argurikas. All right.
I'm not sure what the first one is, but I'm assuming it's something to do with decree or command, just from what we've seen earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So he commanded and tas prosodos and the roads of the priests.
Income.
And the income, okay, the priestly income. Kai tas di dominas. Is that going to be then silver, or is that a new word?
Yeah, that's a verb that means to give. It's a participle from the verb to give.
Oh.
And it's in the passive voice.
And these they gave to him.
Kaitas So the TAS here is an article, so it has to go with a noun, and it's basically comes at the end of the sentence.
Syntaxis, yeah.
Hmm.
And so they give to him concerning it the what did we say syntaxis was?
Subvention
Okay.
or pay. Yeah.
So they gave the payment to him.
Where do you get to him in Kateniauton?
I thought so.
Is that the
Like is
yeah,
out Katanaton? That's I thought the
Yeah,
easiest
yeah,
way
I
I'd
get
break that down without.
yeah.
So
No,
I
get
don't know
what you're
how
saying.
I'd put that into English.
That's another word actually. It means yearly. Eniauton is Reniautos, I guess, if it's just is a year. So kat eniauton means by the year or every year.
Okay.
That's just yeah.
And so they give the income yearly.
Yeah, ace afta.
To him.
That's auta. It's a neutral plural. I assume that it goes back to ton hieron.
Oh, to them. Okay, so to the priests.
Yeah, or I will have to check. Maybe it's the temples that they're trying
temples.
to talk about in this case. Yeah.
It's a temple
So I think
in
it should-
Egyptian. So there should be temple here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's the subventions to the temples each year, and this means given, not he gives or they give. It's the subventions
passive.
that are given. Yeah, exactly. That are given each year to the temples.
Sitkas tekai agruria. So and both sitkas, which is that silver.
No, that's great.
Oh, from Siton. Okay, Siton. But then what would and then Argurikas will be silver. I was about to have that the
Exactly.
wrong way around.
No, but that's right. So, and these are adjectives in this case. So, what do they agree with, or what do they modify?
Back to the payment.
Yeah, exactly. So, thus syntaxis being both grain-like, the grain kind, and of the silver kind. Awesome. And this is an aorist verb. Just okay. I don't know if there are any questions.
I just
or
had a
comments.
thought. I just had a thought about the hieroglyphic, the ardit. Could it be a stative? Because an unwritten ending on a stative is common even way before this time. The grain, the silver and grain and offerings being given in a state of having been given. I don't know.
I don't know
grammatically
either.
it would fit because it would follow the subject.
Dative or participle, which are being given.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I mean, the biggest question in my mind, it's not really a question. If you read ahead, then you see it. It's an incomplete sentence. We don't know yet what's going to happen to these things.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it so hard. But I guess this would be a good question for, say, for example, the chord grammar on Ptolemaic. How is the participle or stative, how are they written? As opposed to the infinitive, is it all the same? Is it like one form for all, or is there some variation? I think that would be a good follow-up.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Right now, it looks like it's always like D does everything, right?
Okay, then I will stop sharing, and I will say thank you all, and see you in a week.
Bye.
You in a week.
Ciao.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye-bye.